I have a variety of interesting articles I wanted to share with you today. And the very first one is on the pit bull. Now, the other day we were talking about pit bulls extensively in an article that was talking about one town in Vermont has banned pit bulls. And that was Montgomery, I believe that it was, right? And and they were talking about the fact that the pit bulls have to be pretty much like they're dogs of tenacity. They have they're a lot of energy, and they're tenacious by nature. So you need to really attend to when you have a pit bull, you need to be able to get its proper exercise, and you need to be able to reinforce its training every single day. That's the only difference. And it is a big difference, but you need to do that with all dogs anyway, but the pit bull especially. So this article. We're going to start with the pit bull because it's in Vermont. This occurred in Essex, Vermont, just very recently. And I was kind of shocked to hear this because we had just covered the article on pit bulls and how most people have them. There's like 5 or 6 of them around here. And they're all like little puppy friendly. You know what I mean? They're all like happy, wagging their tails, friendly when their owners bring them out. So this was in Newsbreak, and let me go into the article. And oh, I guess I don't know if they're giving the full article or not. One moment. Let's see. I'll get it in the Vermont News. Okay, so this is one day ago by WCAX, and it says Essex man's death from dog attack prompts calls for ordinance change. So here we go again. Another change, but this is very serious, guys. Listen to this. You're not going to believe this article. The death of a 76-year-old Essex man, this is in Vermont, following a dog attack Tuesday had prompted calls to change the rules around aggressive animal response. It happened on Brigham Hill Road, just before 3:30 p.m. Essex police say Stephen Campbell was attacked by a large male pit bull. They say family members were in the home at the time, including the owner of the dog, who was able to stop the attack, but Campbell died from his injuries at the scene. Was that hi Sahara and Kalia? Hi, yeah, right. This is in Essex, Vermont. Essex Police Chief Ron Hogue said while occasional dog bites are common, the severity of this case was a shock. Certainly, we're not used to having something this severe where a person actually died from an attack, especially from a domestic dog. But the attack was not without warning. Hogue said the officers had been called to the home before. We've actually had a couple of incidents there with bites that have occurred at the home. Now, holy mackerel, the authorities were there before to the same home, the same dog that bit people. You would think after one attack to a human that the authorities would say, what would they say, guys? What would they say? You need to appear in court, or we need to review, you need to have the dog reviewed by a vet for safety or behavior, and then follow up, like do something, be proactive. Let's see if they did anything. I don't think so. One of those bites involved a delivery driver who was seriously hurt at the property in January. So that's very recent. He went before the Essex Town, oh, he did. He went before the Essex Town Select Board in early February in what is called a potentially vicious dog hearing. Because this attack happened on the property, so, okay, can I just say something? Certain things, you don't wait 4 to 6 weeks to attend. And that is a dog that attacks humans. You attend that within 48 hours. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Because look, this was in January that this dog attacked a delivery guy. And then you hear here, because this attack happened on the property where the dog lives, it was potentially a vicious dog hearing. It's a slight nuance in our ordinances. Yes, thank you. I'm saying, said the town manager, Greg Dugan. Let me tell you something. I don't know about where you guys are, if anyone's in Vermont, but in Essex, I know for a fact because I've called town hall, and I've called town, in my life in Vermont, I've called town hall. You can call town hall very easily and speak with these selectmen, and you can voice your opinion. And then they give you detail on where, like if they're having meetings, or they say thank you and I agree with you. Hi, Love and Laugh. And Trent, hey guys, how are you today? So this dog had bitten the delivery guy in January, and they have a meeting in February, and then he unalives a person in the house. Let's read more here. The distinction of a potentially vicious blocked the board from ordering euthanasia. Instead, the dog's owner was given a list of rules, including muzzling and working with a trainer. Okay, so they did something proactive. Hogue said officers conducted multiple follow-ups to check compliance. So they did follow. Hi, Germany. How are you from Germany there? Thanks for being here. So they did follow-ups, guys. And as far as we are aware, everything that was ordered was being worked on. So they ordered muzzling. So when he brought the dog out, now, okay, this is the one thing. Can I just say, I'm just going to say this, I'm going to say this, and this is not a negative thing towards the officers or even Fish and Game and Wildlife. You need to have the dog behaviorally assessed by a veterinarian who specializes in behavior. Because then you're going to know if that dog does need to, I'm sorry to say it, need to go bye-bye. You know what I mean? You do not want to risk a human being, and that is what happened. It sounds to me, it sounds to me like the select board made the decision if it was potential. How could they do that, guys? They can't do that. I understand, yes, put the muzzle on when you're outside. But no. A behavior specialist may have said, don't even bring that dog out past the yard right now, because this dog, even with the muzzle, could jump at someone. Don't do it. See, a behavior, and I'm just using my psychology from my degrees in human psychology. It is not the same as dog psychology, but the chain of events, when you're angry, if you have an angry dog, the chain of events, they're going to act on that. Anyway, I just do think there needs to be more added to that. And I'm not in the town of Essex, but I may give them a call. Hi. How are you today, guys? But I mean, there's nothing wrong with adding your 2 cents. So I believe they need to have a behavior specialist for dogs assess that. This is a 1 in a million thing that happened. But the problem is this. For example, um, we just, on this channel, we just covered the dog farm. Um, and I think I saw it too, but I'm not going to do any videos. No, I don't do that type of deal. If they put it in the paper, then we'll cover it again. We'll cover the update. But the dog farm with the 60 huskies that were taken off of the farm because they were on short leashes, they were in a musty, not musty, but ammonia filled, not clean barn, and they were skinny. They didn't have water, and they weren't adequately tended to. Now, dogs like that, there may be a lot of dogs will come out of that, and they will be very resilient and very grateful and very loving, and they can be trained. Other dogs will come out of that, and it will have, just like in a human being, snapped. They have snapped. And because the dog was, for lack of a better word to say, institutionalized. It was chained. It had no food. It was in the dark. And my heart really does go out. I just can't help but think about the prisons where they institutionalize people and then they let them out and they think, oh, they're going to be fine. Many of them are not fine, guys. They are not fine. Okay? Because that is actually how they're treated. It's very disconcerting. So when you get, so here we're talking about these dogs. You got so many rescues out there now. So people need, in my opinion, they need training, yes, but I feel like consultation, and I'm not talking about pay that veterinarian $250 for them to tell you a couple of words. I'm saying we need to set up some free consultations for safety for dogs, because I've seen way too many people walking with, not here, not where I live. Everybody has their dog on a leash, but I have seen people in my life in the past walk with very big dogs off the leash. I always go on the other side. I will dart right into a store if I have to for safety when I see that. The dog doesn't even have to look at me. I just know the potential for a dog to protect its owner is huge. So anyway, this says, Dugan said he believes the death will spark an ordinance change. So the unalivement of the dog is what they're talking about. All the select board members, I think, wanted to do more than they did. They did about as much as they could within the conditions of the ordinance. But even at that time, no, they didn't. They could have done more. They could have gotten a behavior consultant to really consult on the safety of that dog. Probably no one thought of it. Just saying. Because it doesn't say they did that. But even at the time, there were thoughts or question on how to handle this if something came up again. So again, they were waiting for it to come up again. A delivery guy was viciously attacked, a very serious bite, and they were going to wait again. Okay, anyway, that's just my reaction. It's not a judgment call, really. It's just me being facetious, but it is how I feel. I mean, as far as safety goes, don't wait for it to happen again. Emily Lewis, a certified oh, here we go. She's a certified dog behavior consultant specializing in aggressive behavior, was called to the scene. Yeah, on Tuesday, but they should have gotten her a long time ago to help the police and animal control take the dog, and the dog's name was Jack. She said the bite brought before the select board earlier this year was a level 5 bite, the most severe. The dog was not potentially vicious and dangerous. The dog was absolutely dangerous. This is the consultant. So they did have a dog consultant. Oh, so shame on me. They had a dog consultant. Good for them. And she said it was absolutely dangerous. She said the rules need to be stricter, not just the town level, but a wider scale. So why didn't they listen to her? If she said at that time it was absolutely dangerous, I would think that would be enough to, unfortunately, do a little bit more at that time. I think that there's a systemic failure here. It sounds like they did everything they could at the time, guys. I hate to say, but it's so sad to see someone unalived um, by a dog where it could have been, you feel like reading this, it could have been prevented. The police have not released the name of the dog's owner, only that the person lived in Campbell's home. The Essex animal control officer involved in the case could not comment because she's part of the active investigation. The Chittenden Humane Society, where the dog was taken, unfortunately will be euthanized. It just breaks my heart all around. A human being lost his life, and the animal, unfortunately, went on some time with that behavior and is losing its also. So that is in Essex, Vermont. The article was by Claire Jones, and it's wcax.com if you want to read it. Okay, so we're going to go out of that for a moment. And let's see, I had something else. I have a number of things to share with you guys. So the Vermont, just really quick note, the Vermont weather, it is weighing people down here. I'm just telling you, my own energy level is like, oh, okay. Vermont, New York weather alert. Heavy snow hits Burlington by evening with slippery I-89 travel. So this morning, it looked like a little blizzard out there. By the time I got out there and all bundled up and ready, but I did take a clip I'll be putting on here as a short. And you may be able to see the snow. I was trying to get the snowflakes for you on the clip for you. Let's see here. Oh, this was the other really quick news thing I wanted to share with you. And then we're going to go on to maple syrup. I want to talk to you about the maple syrup season here in Vermont is pretty much now. But this is article is in 7daysvermont.com, and this is on, if any of you know, the city market. It's called City Market, and it's on a side street in Burlington, Vermont, and it's right next to a movie theater, and it's an extremely busy co-op type of market. And they have to lay off 12 employees because they've lost they've had financial losses. Do you know why they've had financial losses? Because of the declining sales. Here, let's read it. I didn't read it yet. I'm just going to guess this because how many businesses closed in Vermont? We reported on this channel. Like 23 in Burlington, Vermont. So now the city market, it sounds like they're in danger. Let's read it. City market has laid off 12 employees as the iconic Burlington co-op continues to struggle with declining sales. They're losing the sales of all the people who used to work in Burlington. They would stop and get their groceries there. The decision was made after months of review as part of restructuring following 18 months of dropping sales, driven by local and national inflationary pressures and challenges affecting the downtown business climate. If any of you know the city market, that place, I'm not kidding you, it was back to back inside that store, so crowded. Everyone would excuse me. Some didn't say excuse me. The parking lot, same thing. And now look, they don't even have enough sales to keep their employees. This is serious. The member-owned co-op lost 1.2 million in 2025 and has been in the red for 8 consecutive years. Oh, they were in the red with all of those people. Well, I guess that was about 7, 8 years ago when I was down there in that specific area. The losses have coincided with a 2017 opening of the new store in Burlington's South End to complement the flagship. So I don't know. I'm just going to say to you, I don't know about that. I think so many businesses have been closing. When they closed Land's End and some other huge department stores on Church Street, that's when all these little stores started to struggle. Yeah, years after expansion, City Market struggles. Sales at the second store increased by 9% last year, while they dropped 7% downtown. The latter location has dealt with ongoing concerns around shoplifting and other safety issues. It's funny they're not mentioning, because guess what? There's another co-op that they opened up related to them over in the Williston area. Let's see if they mention that. Prompting the co-op to close its cafe over the winter. Ooh, and their cafe is to die for. It's excellent. McFarland had previously said the store has multiple security incidents almost daily. In other words, shoplifting almost daily. And it was forced to close for a day last month after a shoplifting incident led to an assault of 4 people. Okay, they say when you're an employee or you're shopping or you're in the store and you see someone shoplifting, report it. Okay? Don't try to go intervene and do something. Don't do that. Because to shoplift, they're already crossing boundaries. Why would you think they're not going to cross possibly more boundaries? McFarland said in a statement on Thursday that market leadership evaluated multiple options before deciding to eliminate the employees. That's a lot of employees for a little Vermont business, 12. She did not clarify how the layoffs were distributed across the 2 stores or how much money the layoffs were expected to save. Well, it's probably, per department, I would say. Okay, so that's a story on City Market, guys. And so let's get out of there. And I want to read just two headlines, and one of them I want to dive into, and then we'll go to the birds. This one, well, this is one. Let me put my coffee down over here, guys. Okay. This is by the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department. Ice conditions are changing fast. Game wardens urge caution. This is as of March 13th, 2026. Okay, and the reason I'm saying this, if you're not familiar with Vermont waterways, do not go down and step on the ice, because this is what's happening. Right now, we had a big ice jam over here in the Lamoille River and different parts of the rivers, all through Vermont. Ice jams. Some of them melted, the water melted completely, the ice melted completely. You can see the water. Now, as the temperatures are dropping at night, and then they're coming back up a little bit during the day, or they're staying cold, sometimes these ice, it appears that it's iced, and it's actually, maybe only this deep, and you step on it and it breaks. It's no longer 3 and 5 feet, feet deep, okay, the ice. The ice it is not adequate to step on ice or icy area of the river or stream or brook. So let's see what the Fish and Game, Vermont Fish and Game Wildlife are telling us right now. Ice conditions on the lakes and the ponds across the state are changing fast due to warm temperatures and rain. With additional warm weather expected, the game wardens with the Vermont Fish and Wildlife are urging ice anglers and others to use good judgment when deciding whether to be on the ice for the weekend. And just to give you an idea, less than an hour away, I understand it was raining today. Well, at the same time it was raining less than an hour away, here it was snowing. Okay, so the weather changes rapidly, and if you're in the river, you could run into an ice jam too. So if you're in your canoe or kayak or whatever. Late season ice requires safety first approach, said the game warden, Major Jenna Reed. Ice conditions will vary day to day, water body to water body, and just as I was saying, and even at different points at the same water body in the warm weather. If you have any doubts about safety on the ice, on a given warm water body this time of year, this is a good indicator to change your plans and find a different location to do whatever it is you want to do. The Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department recommends anyone planning to recreate on the ice carry safety gear, including self-rescue picks and spud bar or auger to test. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Auger to test the ice as you go. It is important to know how to Can I just say, personally, if you've got to be testing that ice frequently, it's probably wiser to just stay off of it, because there are so many months in the year where the ice is so thick and so deep you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that's from the Vermont Fish and Wildlife. So the next thing I want to cover with you for a little news item is the maple season. Maple syrup season. It's a really fun season. Hey guys. Okay. They're just making some noise. So I actually, before we begin this article, I just want to tell you what I gave little Umi and Mashuki today. So I've got this side of their, this over here, right here, this side of their cage is covered because that's where their little nest is and they like it covered. And the other side, they like it sunny. But guess what I gave them is a little celery stalk today. And they say with the leaves, you have to wash it really, really good. And just don't make it a staple food for them because it has a lot of water in it, and it may affect their appetite for other nutritious foods. So anyway, with that, the maples by WCAX, the maple season opens with cautious optimism at the Vermont sugar houses. I met someone in the cafe the other day, and she said her family's working in the sugaring, and they're working day and night tirelessly because you only get this one time a year to get this maple syrup out. So this is by Claire Jones. She wrote the other article too, and this is published March 9th, and in Shelburne, Vermont, WCAX. With winter beginning to wind down in Vermont, sugar makers across the state are heading into the maple season with optimism. David Palmer, a third-generation sugarer with the Palmer Sugar House in Shelburne, said that the season brings back childhood memories of tree tapping. He goes, when I was a kid, I'd go out with my father in a horse-drawn wagon. Even I can remember too, horse-drawn wagons still on the street in Vermont. There's no one doing it now. If someone did get a horse and they wanted to ride it up the street, they could. But you just don't see it now. But Palmer doesn't use a horse and wagon anymore, but said some of the fundamentals of the business haven't changed, including the uncertainty of predicting the season's outcome. He says, my father would always say this best. People would ask the same question, how is the season going to be? And he'd say, I tell you in May, because that's truly the only way we will know what's going to happen. So, but it's always hard to tell, but I have to say it's a good day to be at, excuse me, at April's Maple. This is the first day the sun is shining, so the sap has a possibility to run for the first time. So, I think if the weather keeps up like this, we're going to have a good maple syrup season. So anyway, that's that. Now the next thing I want to share with you is with the Audubon.org. Okay, Audubon, I think it is Vermont Audubon I had put in. And I want to share with you the sound of birds, because we did this together. And I want to say it was, guys, I don't know, it's been 2 or 3 years. You know, we didn't do much on this channel for a long time. And I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, because guess what? Now we have almost 200 subscribers on this little channel. So jump on board. It's totally free. It's fun. And we just cover a bunch of different topics here. And I really like taking a day like this and just highlighting some news articles that have occurred in Vermont, both sun and both shade. So this is a guide to North American birds. So we're just going to listen to some of their calls, and I can flip this. So let me just take this and flip it. Oops, sorry. There we go. And let's see if I can set this. Okay. So we're going to do the cardinal first. You're going to hear my birds sing. Isn't that pretty, guys? Cardinal. Yeah, those are the cardinals. Okay, this is the barred owl. So you see cardinals in Vermont quite a lot. This is the barred owl. You see the barred owl in Vermont quite a lot. And when you first hear it, listen carefully, because a lot of people will mistake the barred owl for a bear. Okay? Listen to it. Okay, and this is the blue jay. That's a lovely sound, isn't it? The blue jay. These are all Vermont birds. This is the red-tailed hawk over here, the red-tailed hawk. This is what it sounds like, guys. Kind of a raspy kind of a sound. This is by the Audubon Society page, guys. Okay, this one, these are the great horned owls, and they are also in Vermont. Hear how low very low sound, guys. this one, as you know, I have finches, and their beak is just like that, their eye, the whole structure. This is called a house finch, but it is in the wild, okay? But this is what they sound like. Let's see if my little finches sing along. Yeah, you hear that? Very pretty. Listen to that. Very high pitched. This is the gray catbird. I haven't seen this. It's also called a mockingbird and thrasher. And if this is the one I think it is, it sounds beautiful, and I have heard it. Let's see. No, that's not the one. Oh yeah, it might be. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? Listen to how complicated that is. Listen to it. Gorgeous. Mockingbird or thrasher? Okay, and these guys, these are the beautiful mourning doves, and they just sound so calming. See how low it is? Very low. That's the mourning dove. And these are more Vermont birds right here. This is the crow, the American crow. Yeah, these are the crows, guys. Here's the American robin. It doesn't get prettier than that. And this one is Cooper's hawk, which we have in Vermont. You see this hawk a lot, Cooper's hawk. Let's hear what he sounds like. Interesting. Okay, and here's another beautiful bird, the American goldfinch, another finch, like my little finches, only this is a beautiful yellow and black American goldfinch. You'll see them in clusters like 4 and 5. You'll see them all together. And this is the mockingbird, which we have in Vermont, and it is astounding, the music, the voice. The, whoops. Do we have the... Oh, no. I guess that's the end of the... Because we did hear the mockingbird already. Okay. So anyway, guys, oh, no, here it is. Let's see. Wow. That's gorgeous. And this is the common raven. He has a deeper kind of a croaking sound. And we'll do just a couple more here. We'll do the indigo bunting. I have seen this bird. We have this bird in Vermont. Yeah, you hear the birds, Umiyamashuki? Okay, and last but not least, we'll do the great blue heron. And the great blue heron, I usually see many, many sightings of these guys. We're going to be looking for them soon down by the rivers. So let's hear what they sound like. Well, similar to a crow, kind of. A raven. That's the great blue heron. Listen to that one more time. I personally have never heard them. I've seen them. So anyway, with that, guys, I hope that you enjoyed that variety of news. And yeah, so for Umi and Mashuki, a couple new pieces of information. I bought them a, let me show you what I got them, guys, because you're going to want to try this. If you have finches, I got them this bag. I was looking for a tiny little bag that I had bought previously of what Timothy hay, and they didn't have it. So the gentleman went and he found this because I said that hay had dried fruits and dried herbs in it. Well, this doesn't have the fruits, but this has the herbs. Now, I looked up every single herb. Okay, and I'll read this to you. Timothy hay, which your pet finches can have. Chamomile, dried, they can have. Dried rose hips, they can have. Red clover, and then the Timothy hay. So it has a picture of the little critters here, but this is adequate and safe for your finches. They will not eat this. They will build their nest with it. Now these guys, when it's, we have such a dark day again today, but when it's sunny again, and they're not too skittish and the weather's nicer, I will show you the nest that they're making, because they're filling the bowl and they're making a regular nest, but they're also making a roof, like a top to it and sides. And they're using this especially. They love, love, love hay. They've been using the herbs that I give them, like thyme, parsley, dill, even oregano, mint. They'll take those. They may eat a little bit of those, but they'll take them and they'll use them to build their little nest that they sleep in at night. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And the other new thing that they have is, I'm going to have to move them and turn some lights on here in a minute. But the other thing that they have is celery, the top part of the celery with the leaves. The only thing is you have to wash it really super good. But you can kind of just put that in their little, in their cage, and they just love it. So anyway, with that, I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you so much for being with me. I'm glad I was able to get on here and share a little bit with you. And I wish you love and light.